welcome to today's Climate Check, where we check in with the collective consciousness and we tune in to what's going on right now and what we need with myself, Lorelai Bayette, and
Dr. Nancy De Andrade.
So, today we chose to talk about something that has been everywhere, all over social media, you can't miss it, and that is mental health, distraction, addiction, and the rush of all this dopamine. We are so overwhelmed, aren't we?
Yes, and there is actually a lot of research behind it. They have noticed that little red colors tell the brain, like, alert. That's why the stop signs are in red, because you have to pay attention. So what color is the sign on your phone that says you have how many messages? What color is the Facebook thing? What color is Instagram? Yes. And so that is constantly calling our attention. So what does the brain need to do? I need to check it off. I need to put it in blank. I need to stop this. And every single time, what happens when you check off your list something? You're like, that feels so good.
Yes.
It's a dopamine rush. You get this high out of completing something, out of checking something, out of checking how many messages you have, how many likes you have. It's just constant distraction.
Yeah, and it's like we have never been at a time where we have at our fingertips anything we want to manifest. However, there are weapons of mass distraction everywhere. And these corporations know what they're doing.
Yeah, of course.
To sell us things and to make us feel unworthy. So how do we navigate in a world where social media is a tool that could be used productively without losing ourselves and our mental health?
Yes.
How many people come to us
Yeah.
and the answers are simple?
And constantly, what I see very often is, well, that person went to the Bahamas, that person went here, and it's constant comparing. You see a whole production, but you don't see what's behind the production. You don't see the Photoshop that is done. You don't see all of the makeup that it goes behind covering the reality. And so we start comparing ourselves, and what does that do? It actually makes us feel worse because we feel like we're not getting what other people have. Well, if they can't do it, how come I'm not getting it? There must be something wrong with me. And it hurts our self-esteem.
Yeah, compare and despair. And it's so subtle.
Yes.
We're not consciously on social media like, this person's better or worse than me. And people are like, I don't compare. Yeah, you do. We compare with our relationships. Why aren't me and my boyfriend going on trips? Not only that, but how can you have the clarity of your divine purpose on this earth if you are tugged and pulled and influenced by what everyone else is doing? For me, as a creative, as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should be doing an online course.
Yep.
Maybe I should, because I'm looking at other people in my industry and I'm subconsciously comparing myself and losing me.
Yes. And the inspiration too, because once I started looking like, oh, what is Lorelai doing? What is this person doing? Well, she's doing that. Maybe I should do that too. I should look into that. And where did my inspiration go? I lose it completely. When I disconnect, like, I don't know if this happened to you, but when I go away, or even when I didn't have my phone for a week, honestly, so many creative ideas were flowing through. It was incredible. I felt so connected, so grounded, and I would see people in the eyes. I would actually connect with people incredibly because I wasn't connected to the internet. When I'm connected to the internet, I'm actually not connected to people. I'm just connected to an algorithm that tells me what I'm going to see, what ads I'm going to see, and they're going to select it according to my previous preferences or anything that I viewed. They are deciding for me what I want to see. And if I don't connect to that, then I have a choice. I have control over that, of what I want to see.
Yeah, and it's that element of control because it's like, yes, it is so beneficial to use social media, but to not let social media use you.
Yeah.
To use your mind,
Yeah.
but to not let your mind use you. And that is the boundary. that we have to be in tune with, because like you said, when you're not on social media, you're channeling, you're receiving all this inspiration from being in this present moment. But when you're channeling what Susan had for breakfast and Tom's cousin's brother's mother's vacation and she just had a baby, when you get that far down the rabbit hole, now your reality has become other people's energies, other people's influence on your life. And it's the opposite. Well, it is hypnosis. Essentially, it's hypnosis. So when we're in theta state, in hypnosis or in meditation, and we're delivering messages or affirmations, they seep into our subconscious mind. Guess when we're also in theta state? When we're watching TV, or we're mindlessly scrolling on social media, allowing these downloads that we're not worthy, that we don't have enough, that we're stressed out. And to be honest, it's just too much information. But we're not here to demonize social media.
No.
We're here to discuss.
Yeah, but actually you bring an excellent point, which is when you start disconnecting from yourself and connecting to the social media or the feeds of somebody else, and you start feeling disconnected from what you need and what's good for you, then your self-esteem starts dropping. You start feeling anxious. You start feeling depressed. This is where we started. Mental health, it becomes an issue. But not because social media made us that way. It's because we have drifted away from our routines. I noticed, like, for me, that week I was without my phone. I actually completed a physical book because I didn't even have Audible on my phone and I didn't want to do it on my computer. But I grabbed a physical book and it was so soothing. And I spent time with me connecting to the earth and it felt rejuvenated. And I didn't realize how much. First thing I did was wake up and look at my phone. Last thing I did before I went to bed was look at my phone. It's like it got me hooked. And so to me, I realized that I needed to connect with me a little bit more and disconnect from social media a little bit more.
And I think that's the scary part though, right? Isn't it scary? Because a lot of us are running away from ourselves. Like, what do you mean? We have a moment in the grocery line, we pick up our phones. We're so afraid to be with ourselves.
Yeah.
I've been on vacation before in the midst of a breakup or something, and I was in Playa del Carmen, and there's no service. You can't use your phone even if you wanted to.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, just like on edge.
Nervous breakdown.
And I'm confronting all my guilt, all my
Yes.
shame, and I'm like, this is what we're running away from.
Yes.
And it's not social media that's the issue. It's what am I avoiding?
Yes, it becomes an addiction. Because, okay, sure, you're not drinking now, but you are looking at your phone. What is it that you are avoiding, right? What are the emotions that you don't want to look at? And so what do? You watch Netflix, you go on your feed, you look at what everybody else is doing, so you don't see you. You don't see your issues. You don't see yourself. So yes, it is running away from yourself. I think that mental health is not necessarily a new issue. I think that we are more exposed to it now because we can spread this wider and faster through the internet. But I do think that social media doesn't help, for sure.
Yeah, especially because we aren't taught to focus. We aren't taught to connect.
To cope.
We aren't taught to cope. We're not taught to soothe. We're not taught these things. If we were, we would be living our lives and picking up our phones when we need to spread a message, and we would put it down.
Exactly.
But it's slavery.
Yeah.
It's slavery. People are enslaved to alcohol. People are enslaved to their phones. People are enslaved to anything. And like you said, I just want to go back, and what she said is so important. I need to highlight it. You don't like yourself when you're not being yourself. When you're not aligned with yourself. There's nothing worse than not feeling like you. Some people are just like, I just want to feel like me again.
Yeah.
And so anything that gets us away from ourselves, that is what causes
The distraction.
the the low self-worth,
Yes.
the low self-esteem. How can you like yourself when you're not being yourself?
Yes.
And so there's so many things that we're doing.
And I have seen people posting very vulnerable posts about how they're feeling and they're reaching out. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the honesty and the vulnerability. But sometimes it is a little too much, where there's no boundaries, where you don't even keep your own private life private. You are disclosing too many things. And what is that information? How does that help you? Really? How does that help anybody? How is this contributing to you, to your well-being, being so open and disclosing without boundaries? So I think it's important to acknowledge, of course, the people that are suffering, so they're not suffering in silence, but there's also a place that needs to be sacred. Your emotions are important, your feelings are important, and they need to be shared in a sacred space, not just to everyone and everything, everywhere out there.
Especially with spirituality, it also goes with your spirituality. I'm spiritual, I have crystals, it takes away from the sacredness of that connection to source. I don't need to tell everyone that I volunteered last week. I don't need to tell everyone that I swam in a retreat. If it's conscious and it's helpful and I feel it from a pure place, not from ego but from my soul,
Yeah.
then share it.
Yeah, from inspiration.
Yes.
And very often we disconnect because what we're doing is, well, let me arrange this. Is this lighting? Is this all purple and blue and the colors that match all of that? And where did the inspiration go? Of course, we have to look okay, and make sure that things don't look too bad and it's clear. But the focus is so much into the looks that we disconnect from the true message that we want to give to others. And that's how we are misusing social media. We're not using it to inspire, we're using it to show off as a projection of our shadow or our egos, instead of coming from spirit and saying, hey, check out this beach. I feel so at peace. And I'm picking up trash. I don't need to tell you or take a picture of me picking up trash, but I am doing it because I love the earth or because I love this place. I want to contribute. And this is my message. Hey, we need to contribute too. So I think that coming from inspiration can shift the way that social media is being portrayed or used,
Yeah. And I think that was the perfect introduction to this huge paradigm shift. When I tap into the collective consciousness, some of you have made this shift and some of you are right now, and some of you don't know what I'm talking about. But it is the flip between controlling my external world in order to feel good versus alchemizing the energy, being in control of my inner world so it projects and creates the reality that I want.
Yes.
Let me slow that down. This is really, really important paradigm shift. Nothing outside of us can change until the inside of us changes.
Yes.
It's like a projector. Remember those projectors in the classroom where you write on the projector and it some people aren't going to know what I'm talking about, but
Actually, there's something.
you write on it and it projects onto the wall. This is your internal world. It projects out. It is not the opposite way. If someone's yelling at you, it is because you attracted it for a reason.
Yes.
If you are being called a name, you attracted it.
Yeah. It's so interesting that you say that because I had a client who she had lots of issues at home. She was just having problems, financial problems with her relationships, like just really bad in general. And her thought was like, I just have to move. I just have to end this relationship and I just have to move. I have to change my external in order for me to feel better. And I was like, oh, stop right there. You're not going anywhere. Because guess what? You're going to take that with you everywhere you go. What's going to change is you. Everything else is going to follow you. Your external is not going to change. So what I asked her to do was
Stop trying to change the external and look inside. Start changing you. And I'm telling you, the moment that she started changing herself, once she called me and she's like, "You're not gonna believe this. Things are going so much better at home. And nothing has changed except me." So that realization that we create our reality, we create the way people react to us, we create what happens to us. And I know that a lot of people are gonna say, well, I didn't create to be raped. I didn't
Yes.
create to be mugged. I didn't create all of that. I get it. I'm not saying that you meant to hurt yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But I do realize too that I am responsible for my creation. That I am. So if something like that happened to me, then I am going to create something else out of it, or I could choose to live in misery. So part of that evolution that you are talking about, that transformation, is taking yourself from the victim role into that empower role, where you are now, this is my life, what do I want to do with it?
Yeah, because if it were all everyone else, where's our power?
Yeah.
Where is the power in, yeah, it hurts to take accountability, to tell yourself the truth and to say, oh my God, I probably attracted that, or I did attract that. That kind of truth sets you free, but it could be difficult, but that's where your power is. And so many people are like, law of attraction, I'm affirming, and I want to say like, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna make money. But you can look to your external environment as an indication of what's going on within you.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
If you're witnessing chaos, hold up, I crashed my car, I lost my wallet, I did, all these things happen. What's going on inside of me?
Yeah. Yep.
What is going on inside of me? Because this is not my opinion, this isn't woo-woo, this is science. We are vibrational energy,
Yes.
frequency beings.
Yes.
And so we attract the vibration
Mm-hmm.
that we are.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want a more loving partner, or if I want a more harmonious life, do I go around telling people what they need to do and how they need to treat me? Has that worked for you? I know it hasn't worked for me.
Mm-mm.
Or do you go within and you create harmony within? I love myself.
Yes.
I'm harmonious within me.
Yes.
I feel good.
Yes.
And guess what happens? Good things follow, because
Totally.
that's what you're emanating.
Yes.
That's what you're radiating off of you, and it's
Yes.
drawing back into you.
Yes, and you are right. This is not woo-woo stuff, actually. There is, and we talked about this in other videos, but there is a part of your brain that filters what you see. Because right now you are able to perceive so many bits of information, but your brain is like, whoa, this is too much. I need to just filter. Tell me what to focus on. And so if you, for example, when you're driving and you are looking at the truck that is right next to you and you're like, I'm not gonna crash against the truck, I gotta be careful with the truck. Guess what happens? Your car starts drifting towards the truck because your attention is going that way. But the same with if you, for example, if you think, I'm thinking about getting a white Mercedes. And then all of a sudden you start seeing white Mercedes everywhere. Why is that? Because your brain said, oh, is that important for you? Let me show you where they're at. Oh, there's one. And your brain is going to delete, or not delete, but hide from your vision, from your perception, the blue motorcycles and the red trucks. Is going to erase all of that. Now, the same with people. People are out to get me. I can't trust people. Your brain is like, oh, okay, I'll show you. Oh, there's one. They can't trust that one. Look at that one. They one did it too. Oh, look at that. So what is it that you're focusing on? You're focusing on your energy. You're focusing on what you are wanting to attract. You are focusing on what you deserve. What you're all focusing on, what you're afraid of. What is your focus? What is it that you are paying attention to? And so your brain, very helpful, is going to say, no worries, I'll take care of that. I will show it to you, anything that you want to manifest.
Yes. And I think that's the perfect word, is focus and feeling. And to tie that back to social media, what are you focusing on social media, and how does it make you feel? If you feel great, great, get on.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice that you're feeling anxious before or during,
Mm-hmm.
get off.
Yep.
Because guess what? You're a ball of energy. So what are you fueling yourself up with? Focus on what you want more of
Mm-hmm.
and feel what you want to attract.
Yes. And one of the things is, for example, something that I do is I don't follow the things that bring me down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not my thing. Why? Why would I submit myself to that? I follow people that inspire me or that I feel connected to. And so maybe you can do that. Clean up your feed and see, well, what is it that I want to put in my brain? What is it that I want to put in my vision so I can focus on that? Do I want to focus on poverty or what's wrong in the world? Or do I want to focus on opportunities and possibilities and how can I be of service and how can I help other people? So you are the one that decide, and you're the one that tells the brain, I want you to focus on that. You are in control. You're in control of everything. Social media is not in control of you. You can take control back.
Yeah, I think that's something that was simple that helped me kind of like feel my way into a higher vibration and into a place where I could just say something and I would attract it.
Yes.
And that's, this isn't, no, nothing we say matters unless you put it into practice. Because I can be like, oh yeah, whatever. But when you actually practice it and you put it in motion and you see, wow, I really do create my own reality,
Mm-hmm.
then it will become non-negotiable
Yes.
for you to be aligned
Mm-hmm.
with source, aligned with spirit, aligned with truth, aligned with joy, aligned with harmony.
Mm-hmm.
And so something simple that I do is to direct my focus is if it doesn't feel good, which you usually can feel in your solar
Mhm.
plexus, or your heart, or you get tense, or wherever you feel it in your body. Should I talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, left turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the next thing. Should I say this? No. I'm about to judge. No. I'm about to gossip. No. I'm about to focus on something. You know it when you feel it because it doesn't feel good.
Yes.
And when you practice shifting into a higher vibration, a more positive place,
Mm-hmm.
now you're aligned with source energy. Now you're aligned with the power that creates worlds.
Yes, yes. And the key is feeling it. Because you're gonna have a million thoughts. And your thoughts are going to be, well, I want $1 million. And I want the perfect relationship. And I want blah, 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 blah. But if you don't feel it, if it doesn't resonate with you, if it feels impossible, ridiculous, or whatever, your body's going to reject it. A lot of people use muscle testing to see the strength of your energy in your body when something resonates with you. And people have used it, for example, in working out. You put music on that you feel inspired and you feel energized, you can lift stronger. You put music that is peaceful, a lullaby, your energy goes down. So the same with things that resonate with you. So if you're thinking of affirmations to tell yourself to change that, make sure that you feel that in your body and connect to that and say, does this resonate? So if you say to yourself, I want $1 million, and that feels like a lie, don't say it. You're just it's not gonna work. So what do you do instead? You say statements that feel possible. Okay, I can make $100 today. Is that more possible? Is that more doable? Is that better? Feel that in you and start noticing how your body and your guidance just shows you the way. That is the way out, the way through. Is through your emotions, not your thoughts.
Yeah. I feel like this has gone in a lot of different directions. So I just want to like tie it together. Number one, where are we putting our focus? Focus on what you want more of. Focus on what feels good. Don't be afraid to feel happy and joy. Don't be afraid to feel those things. Oh, what if I get excited and it doesn't work? Well, it's probably not going to work because now you've introduced negativity into it. We create what we are. We create the feeling that we are. So where's our focus going? And not only where is our focus going, but just the practice of focusing.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us practice focus? I know I didn't until recently. And so what I do to practice focus, because if you can focus, then you can manifest even easier.
Yes.
If you can harness your focus,
Yes.
once you identify what do I want to focus on, the power of focus
Yes.
is important.
Yes.
And that is extremely important in a world of a lot of distraction.
Yes.
So how do we focus? One little tool, and you can share one too, one little tool that I do to practice focus is I complete one task at a time. And I realized just how distracted I was because how difficult it was. So
Wow.
when I complete sleep, I make my bed.
Mm.
I go in the bathroom and I complete brushing my... How many of us are doing this, and this, and thinking that we're getting everything done? There's no such thing as multitasking. You're just jumping from one thing to the other. But when you practice completing one task at a time,
Mindfully.
you are training your brain and imprinting these pathways that strengthen your focus. So when you do go to focus, your feeling and your energy on what you truly desire to manifest, it comes to be.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the trouble with distraction. It's like, okay, I'm distracted, but you're not really giving me anything to do.
Yeah, another tip that I would like to suggest is something that you also shared in one of your videos, which is get in your body. However that looks like. You go for a walk, you dance, you jump up and down. Tony Robbins uses the bouncer. Yes. Just get in your body, ground yourself. That will be real important. Shift that energy, that state.
Yes. People are always like, I feel so stuck. And I'm like, move.
Yeah.
Move your body, shake your butt.
Yeah.
Move your body, go jump around. But they're like, no, that's not gonna work. Just do it. Try it before you knock it. And so as you're a creative or an entrepreneur or just someone who not only wants to create a product, but wants to create a life that they love,
Yes.
you have to harness focus. And not only that, but direct that focus to things that you want. And the problem with this is that it requires faith. That it requires surrender. And that it requires trust. And that is
Yes.
something that we're struggling with right now.
That's the elevated part. Yes.
Because none of this works without source.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, with mental health, it's kind of non-negotiable to tap into something bigger than you.
Yes.
Whatever that, I'm not here to define that for you.
Right, exactly.
That's sacred.
Yeah.
But
you can call it higher power, God, spirit, Buddha, energy, the universe. It doesn't
light,
matter.
love.
Yes.
But how do you suggest someone who's never tapped into something bigger than them, who's living just in their person, where can they start? Where do you think that they could start with attuning to something larger than them so that you can feel the faith?
Nature. When you go out in nature, how perfect is that?
Yeah.
That is the definition of perfection right there. Who the heck created that? Who is in charge of like, okay, how many leaves are falling right now? Are we on time for the fruit to come out? Everything is rotating perfectly around, This has to be something bigger. This has to come out from somewhere. This is not just magic, So I believe in something bigger than us, for sure. And the way that I connect to that is when I go to the ocean and I see the abundance, when I see the perfection of nature, when I see that, that's where I connect.
And I think that if you just tapped into yourself really quick and you asked yourself, how do I feel the last time I went to the beach or went to the park or you do feel connected to all that is. It is a vibration.
But don't go with your phone. Don't go like, okay, I'm gonna go to the park and let me see who, whatever, posted what. No, be in admiration, in appreciation, in gratitude. Just breathe in and observe. One of my clients said that she started reading the book, The Power of Now, and she was a few chapters in. The next morning she woke up and went for a walk, and she was like, what is that smell? Wow, I haven't smelled these flowers in a long time. Wow, look at this beautiful tree, these flowers. She started appreciating so much that it brought her so much peace, so much internal peace that she was amazed. She's like, how did this happen? You know,
Yes.
it's by being present and being in nature.
Yeah, and I think some people smoke marijuana in an effort to do two things, or even smoke cigarettes, but marijuana, I picked that one for a reason, is number one, breath. Just
Calming the nervous system.
calming you down to this present moment. And then marijuana, I'm not suggesting to use it, but people that use it, I had to think, why do people love using that so much? And it's because it puts you in a vibration of acceptance, and the vibration of acceptance allows you to be here right now. So you're like, food tastes better, and the beach is better, and this is better, and that is better, because you're in the present moment, and you see the colors and all these things because you're in the present moment. But you don't need to have to do that, to experience this moment right now, to feel, to
Right.
take in all your senses. And not only that, I just want to add this little disclaimer. Marijuana gets you to the stage of acceptance, but when it gets to the stage of reasoning, the next vibration up, to actually use your mind to create, it'll bring you back down to acceptance. And so I'm not against marijuana, I'm not for marijuana, but just be conscious of, you might be chasing meditation, nature, presence, and just being in this moment by using marijuana. And sometimes it's medicinal for people, but just be aware that it does bring you back down to acceptance when maybe you've been climbing up to reasoning. So it does have its own vibration, just like your phone has a vibration, just like negativity has a vibration, just like joy has a vibration.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yes.
And I took that off course for a second.
Yeah.
But I think some of
I
the
think we've gone all over the place
Yeah.
for sure.
So to wrap it all up, this was just an inspired talk.
Yeah, this is a soul session.
Yeah.
We talk about everything that we feel is inspired and
Yeah.
it's important for you to hear, and it's perfect.
And so I'd like to just wrap up with focus, practicing it,
Yes,
directing it,
yes,
and feeling.
yes.
Be a master of your feeling. If it's gonna cause you pain, drop it. It ain't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth the argument. It's not worth not forgiving somebody.
Yeah.
It is not worth flicking somebody off in traffic.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And get into nature,
Mhm.
like Nancy said, to connect, to ground yourself.
Yes.
What else do you think you can take away from this conversation that we had today?
Mm. You are in control. Not social media, not marijuana, no people's emotions. You are. You are in control of what you want to do, feel, and how you want to act. So what is it that you want to create for your life? Just take control.
Yeah. So all in all, whether it's social media, a conversation, or whatever, how is it making you feel? How can you direct that feeling? And if it's bringing you into complaining, comparing, it's not worth it. Because what's worth it and what's true is that your vibration will attract exactly what you are. And we're now living in a society where it's non-negotiable. And we're becoming aware of the laws of the universe. If you want to know more about one of these topics, I want you to drop below in the comments, which specific thing stuck out to you most. And if you want to know more, ask us. We can make a video.
Yeah.
And if you want to work on your vibration and creating your reality, and changing yourself from anxiety and control to joy and magic, then reach out to either myself or Dr. Nancy and we will be here
We'll help you.
to guide you. We got your back.
Yes.
This is
We have
our
some good
life's
things
purpose.
cooking too. So.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Yay.
So excited.
Anything else? That's it.
That's it.
Well, we love you guys. Have
Love
a
you.
wonderful day. We'll be checking in soon.